Hey guys, how are you? Okay, good. The internet's holding. Yay! All right, so welcome to Chapter U. It is going to take a second to connect. There it goes. When you guys get here, say hello in the comments. Let us know that you are here. I am so excited. We are in a different environment today, which is super crazy. I'm glad that, okay, that pinned. Good. We were having some technical difficulties today before I introduce our speaker, and we were both sitting here giggling, and it was not for lack of trying that we did, and we'll go into that a little bit later. But I think the universe was testing us to make sure that we were going to follow through and bring this information to you. So the woman that I have been just obsessed with, and she doesn't know it yet, but she made a huge change in my life, Carla Ondrasik. And I met her at a local spa that's in my community in Southern California. And she wasn't speaking during that time, but hi guys, how are you? I see you popping on. But during that time, I was just drawn to her energy in the room, and we got to talking, and she shared with me what she's going to share with you guys today, but today in a little bit more depth. And it was literally something that changed my mindset about the way that I was living my life. And I showed up how many of you guys do, and we show up in our best intention, we show up with our best foot forward, our most positive, and this page is all about us in midlife showing up in a more powerful way to create the best life that we can. But I know a lot of times I personally didn't think I was making excuses per se, but I was using certain languages and certain statements within my own structure that were really self-sabotaging me. And so I wanted to have her speak to you guys to hear all of that. So I then heard her speak at our local Rotary group, which we were just chatting. That was hysterical that actually the universe kind of brought us together like that. But I had been trying to make two decisions. One, to get more healthy in my life, and two, to expand a different business brand that I have going on. And after I heard her speak, I noticed, and I will let her go into this, but I was using the statements that she had repeatedly said, hey, listen, watch it. And she's such a good friend, she calls me out on it, and I love it. But I wanted to have her come and inspire you guys. So without further ado, this is my sweet friend, Carla.
Hello.
Hello. And I'm so excited for you to chat with everybody today. So mainly what this group is about is we are a group of really powerful women over 40 that are trying to find our way in the world. And we've spent so much time serving other people, kids, partners, spouses, husbands, wives, all of the things. And we don't leave time for us. And then we find ourselves in this hamster wheel of who am I? What am I? What's my purpose in this world? And pretty soon we wake up and we're 70, 80, 90 years old. And the world has passed us. So I'm excited for you to talk to everybody today. Welcome.
I'm so excited to be here. I just love talking about my message, and it's a good thing. I have a couple of years experience on all of you 40 somethings out there. I'm way past that. But at the same time, I'm just getting started. I feel like I'm just getting started as well. So yeah, I love how we met.
It's crazy.
And it was really crazy. In fact, when I met you, you had your son with you.
Yes.
Which is a great audience as well to share this message with.
Absolutely.
And I loved our interaction, he and I, and some of the things he said to me. So yeah, there's so much to share, and I'm just thrilled to be here with you.
I'm excited. Yeah, you guys, be sure to share this video with your friends. Pinned at the very top is where you can find Carla on her Instagram as well as on her website. And as Carla was saying, Christian was with me during the day that he heard her speak, and it moved him to do some things that were a little scary and take some big steps. So anyway, without further ado, I love it.
Well, one of the things, it's a great lead in. One of the things that Christian said to me was, after he heard me speak, he said, in my daily life, I do all the daily things I have no problem doing. It's those big ticket items, like your dreams, the big goals. That's where he said he tended to try. And I think that's pretty normal for most of us. We know we have to go to the grocery store, so we're going to do that. There's things we have to do that we're going to do. But what about, watercolor painting, or starting to go swim, or the things that we try to do are those things in our head that we think are a little bit scary, that are not as easy. So there's so many reasons why we choose to try to do things rather than just do them. And when we allow those thoughts to get in our head, that's when we're going to try. So we can break that down further. But I just love that he brought that up. So, today we're not really talking about the semantics of trying. If you're standing on a miniature golf court with the putt in your hand, with the thing in your hand, you're not going to try to hit the ball. You're probably going to hit the ball, but you will try in other areas that are much harder to reach than something like that.
Yeah, and I loved how the way that she had started our Rotary group is she said, what word would you choose? How do you word that? What word would you take out of your vocabulary completely, right?
Yeah.
And it was the word try.
Yeah, yeah. There's this one little word that has so much power that we all say every day, 20, 30, 40 times a day. In fact, you've said it,
3 times sitting
times
here
already.
for 15
and
minutes.
If I had like a big rubber mallet, I'm going to
I'm
start
trying to be aware.
try to be aware.
Oh,
She
God.
just did it. I have to have this rubber
I
mallet.
am
can
aware.
hit you. Yeah. You will become aware. The word is try. And we use the word try because we're not sure that we can or will do something. Okay? It's a really powerful word. And I think the reason that we use that word so we just throw it around is because we don't know what it really means. We think we know what it means, but we don't know the true meaning of what it is.
Yeah.
So we think that trying is going to push the needle forward, that we're actually doing something. But try is a mental exercise. It's just a mental thing that's going on. I'm going to try and do this. It's mental. But when you say I'm doing, it's a physical activity. I'm doing this means you're taking the action.
Right.
And a lot of times we get so frustrated because we say, I'm trying so hard, but
Right.
blank, blank, blank isn't happening for me. And
But.
the problem isn't that you're not trying hard enough. It's that you're trying in the first place.
Right.
So
Right.
it's not that you're not trying hard enough. So whatever it is out there that you've been trying to do, for women in our 40s, okay? So what are we trying to do? We're trying to start a new business. A lot of us are trying to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to eat better. We're trying to cook more. We're trying to read more books.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason that it's not happening is not that you're not trying hard enough. It's that you are trying in the first place. If you take any of those sentences, I'm trying to read more, you know what that means? That means you're not at the bookstore choosing a
Right.
great book.
Right.
You're thinking about the fact that you want to read more books.
Right.
But what does that look like when you take that out? I am reading more. It means you're marching down to Barnes and Noble or going on Amazon and choosing a topic that's interesting to you.
Right.
And you're reading more.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, again, a big one is our health. I'm trying to lose weight.
Well, that was how you inspired me, because through menopause, all COVID, like all the things, right? You could say that a million times over. I thought, I need to lose like 15 pounds. What the heck is going on? The perimenopausal belly, the whole thing. And I tried forever, right?
That's why
Right?
why you were stuck.
That's why I was stuck. And then after I heard you speak, I thought, what the hell am I doing? What the F, really? Facebook will kick me off if I really speak how I speak. But I made a decision literally in that room that we were at, in that restaurant, and I said, this is bullshit. I'm making a decision and we're done. And honestly, every single time I make a meal or choose to go work out or choose to go to dance class or whatever it is that I'm doing, I think about you and I think, I'm not trying to do this, I'm freaking doing it. I'm just doing it. And I can't think of the potential success or not success. That doesn't, what does that look like? I mean, that's subjective for anybody, but it's working. So I'm happy. So thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you for
welcome.
that.
You know, and that's incredible. That's one of the great things about this is it's instant. You heard it. You heard the message. You were sitting in that restaurant when I was talking, and before you walked out the door, you changed your life.
Honestly, and it sounds dramatic. And when I was telling the girls, I'd sent an email out about all of this and stuff, and I thought, this sounds so silly, that it changed my life. One 3-letter word, but it truly did because I just made a decision.
Yeah.
That was it.
To do it. So, there's this guy. I love this story, and I'd love to share it right now because it just shows how instant, like it happened for you. There was a guy at a park I still go to every day with my dog, and I had never talked to him because he had these giant headphones on his head, and I love to talk to people.
Yeah.
So one day, I was in the music business. I'm thinking, what's he listening to? And I went up to him because the headphones were off. And I said, hi, I see you all the time. What are you listening to? And he goes, oh, I'm listening to these podcasts on motivation, and I have a hard time following through on things, and there's so many things I'm trying to do. And when I hear the word try,
You're all red flag, red flag.
I just fire, right? My brain goes, whoa. So I said, so tell me something you're trying to do. And he said, well, I'm trying to go swim. We have the new YMCA pool, and I just can't seem to make it happen. And I looked at this guy, and I said, why don't you stop trying to go swim? That was it.
Yeah.
Stop trying to go swim
Yeah.
and go swim.
Yeah. Yes.
And he came back to the park the next day screaming. He saw me flailing arms across the field. I did it. I didn't try. I swam. And this guy has changed his whole life because he quit his job. He changed careers. He doesn't try.
Love
He
it.
doesn't allow the mental, it's like a safety net. So we could get into, why do we try?
Yes, please do, because I think a lot of us have that hang up.
Yeah, when you were talking about, oh, I'm going through menopause and excuse.
Exactly.
Blame.
Yes.
Blame.
Yes.
So you
100%.
can come up with when you're trying, well, I can't because of this, I can't because of that.
Yep.
When we try, we want to have this imaginary safety net
Yeah.
of excuses and blame and have zero accountability when we don't do it.
Yes.
So if you say, for example, I'll try to meet you at Coffee Bean at
Yes.
9, and you show up at 9:10, well, nobody can get mad at you because you just said, I'll try to be there.
Yeah.
You could say, well, there was traffic, or, my kids needed me. Okay, so those are excuses and blame.
Right.
But if you said, Carla, I'll be there at 9, and you weren't here at 9, and I'm sitting here waiting, now you have accountability. Now I
Right.
can get upset with you.
Right.
Well, you said you'd be here. Now I've been sitting here wasting my time. Where were you?
Yeah.
Your actions are completely different when you say you will do something. So when you said to me, I'll be here at 9, you didn't shoot off that last email walking out the door. You made sure you had gas in your car. You made sure you left with enough time in case there was traffic, and you show up at 9. The airlines, they don't say to us, will you try to be here? We want to try to take off.
Yes.
You're there or you miss your flight.
Yes.
And you don't try to get there either because you have a lot invested in that ticket and the trip that you're planning. So trying is at the heart of all this gray area where nothing's happening. And that's what I want to change for everybody.
Right.
I want you to think about when you say anything that you're trying to do, little things. I'm going to try and clean out the garage. I'm going to try and return all my emails today. I'm going to try and make one more sale at work. I'm going to try and get more people to sign up for my podcast or whatever it is. Change the mentality. I'm going to do this today, and don't stop until it gets done. And your actions just will be led with such strength and conviction.
Yeah.
It is incredible. It's incredible.
Why do you think First of all, do you think men do it more than women, or women more than men, are equal? Just in your
Oh my
experience.
gosh. So in some areas, women, especially this age group that you talk about, we tend to try a little more because we're pleasers.
Yes.
And so
Recovering people pleaser.
yeah, I'm still a people pleaser, but so the beauty of this no try thing, this could be your favorite trick that you walk away with today, is tend to say, yes, I'll try and make your cocktail party. I'll try and make it to the talk. I'll try and do this for you. Because we're so afraid of saying no.
Yes.
We have such
my
a
gosh.
hard time saying no. And you know
Yes, we
what?
do.
When you don't allow for trying and you're either going to do it or not, well, there's no place for that maybe. It's, I will be there or I won't be there. And let me tell you something, it's so exciting and powerful and empowering to say no. I say no now so easily. And by the way, it's so much kinder. You think you're being kinder to that person by saying, I'll try and make it. But you're not. It's not kinder to give somebody false hope. Because even though you say you'll try and they know you may or may not be there, there's still that piece of them that's thinking you may show up.
Right.
So maybe they're waiting for you, or they're looking in the group for you, or they're hoping that you'll be there.
Right.
But when you say, nope, thank you so much for the invite, I'm not going to show up,
Right.
they don't have to think about you again.
Right.
And you don't have to think about it again. The mental dialogue that goes on with, oh my gosh, well, I said I would go, but I'm so tired
Oh, the
tonight.
anxiety attached to that. You think, well, I told her I might try to make it, and
You're still playing the scenarios out in your
Right.
head. Should I go? Shouldn't I go? They're thinking, will they come? When you say no, it's a complete sentence.
right.
It's done. I'm not going, or I am going.
Right.
And by the way, following through, when you don't try and you commit to something, as you're probably feeling, feels so good.
So good.
So proud of yourself,
So good.
right?
So good. And it was wild, but not wild, is that just yesterday, this, thing that I'm doing with the doctor's office, I weighed in and whatever, and I had lost like 9.5 pounds. And
Woo!
I know. And I thought, oh my gosh, it wasn't menopause. It's just because I was eating a bunch of shit.
You were trying.
I was just trying way too hard to do that and making excuses. And it was like the Monday came again. Oh, and it's Monday again. We're going to start again. And Monday again, we're going to try to do it again. Yeah, and I felt great. But that's the language that I was using.
That's right.
I
That's
thought
right.
come Thursday, if I had a okay week and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it all went to shit, I would go, forget it. I'll start again on Monday.
Because
I'll
there's no
try again."
accountability.
No.
There's no accountability.
No.
It's
So
half-hearted.
it is half-hearted.
And look at you.
I'm excited.
Oh my God.
But the flip side of what it has really made me not react is that when I stopped trying to lose weight and just made that decision, on the morning that I get on that stupid scale and I think, okay, well, I gained like, whatever, half of a pound, it doesn't flip me. I don't go, oh, God, well, I'll try again tomorrow. I'll try again Monday. I go, okay, I'm just going to make a better decision in that next step.
That's right. I'm
And
going to
that's it.
keep doing it. You just brought up something fantastic. Studies show, motorcycle in the background for effect.
Ignore all of that.
Studies show that when we try and fail and try and fail, like Monday comes around and then by Thursday you've cheated on your diet or whatever and you fail, we tend to give up. We try and fail after a couple of times, we just give up altogether.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do and fail,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to talk about that in a second,
Mm-hmm.
you tend to get up, learn the lesson, and do it again. And if you fall again, you get up and you learn that lesson. Look at Elon Musk. Look
Yes.
at anybody who has created something where they were doing it and they had setbacks, but they didn't stop. They learned and they kept doing and they went on and on.
Yeah. I'm sure Oprah's had 1 million, and look at her.
1 million billion,
Yeah,
right?
right?
So doing doesn't guarantee success.
Mm-hmm.
It just guarantees you are going to have a better odds and better chance at success.
Mhm.
And when you are on your path of doing, by the way, the universe gets in the way.
Yeah.
So if I say I'm going to run in the Love Run half marathon, and I train and I eat correctly and I'm doing all my runs and I'm increasing my mileage and I'm doing every single thing and I've announced it to the world I'm doing this, and there's a thunder and lightning storm the day of the race, I'm not going to be running in that race. The universe happens. Car accidents happens.
Right.
You know, you may wake up one morning with an infection in your gum,
Right.
and you're not going to be able to do your podcast that day.
Right.
So you have to know things are going to happen, but they should never prevent you from doing it again and keeping going.
Right.
Your flight may not take off even though you're there on time,
Right.
because of weather or a mechanical problem or a pilot issue. So, but if you're not there, it doesn't
It's a
matter what's going to
guarantee.
happen. You're
It's a
not going to
guarantee.
make that flight.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so talk to us about fear, because when I coach women in like a life coaching scenario, both in life and in business, I hear repeatedly, I hear the desire, I hear the excuse, and then I hear the fear of failure behind it. So I feel like women in general, because that's my experience, if we commit to something and make that decision, what are people going to think when we don't? If I was to declare to all of Facebook land right now, yep, I'm going to lose 15 pounds, and if I fail, what are people going to think? And I think that's what a lot of women go back to.
Absolutely. I'm just writing the chapter on fear right now.
I love it.
I wish I had written it before this.
Ah!
I have all the statistics. But
Maybe you'll get a download and you'll
yeah,
be like,
right,
okay,
right,
that's
okay.
it.
I'm going to go home and write everything
Right?
I just said. So fear is probably the number one reason that we choose to try. And fear, there's a quote, a very famous quote from the guy that wrote the Dune movies: fear is a mind killer. Fear
That's good.
is a doing killer. That's what fear is.
Yeah.
Fear is not a mind killer, it's a doing killer. I think that jumping off the cliff and having the safety net is not safe.
Right.
So when you're trying, it's no safer than doing it.
Right.
And what you'll find is that people will respect you more. They're watching you. Your
Yes.
friends, your children, your family, your followers are looking at your bravery. And when you fail, it's respectable.
Right.
I think having the guts to actually make the statement that you're doing something is so brave. So there's nothing, you have to just kind of get over that fear
Yeah.
of failure. And we're human. So you
Yes.
have to know, yeah, I may fail. I'm writing a book right now.
Right.
And I'm posting about it, I'm talking
Yeah.
about it, I've got my editor, I've got my agent, I've got all this work that I'm doing. And if that book doesn't come out, it doesn't mean I'm a failure
Right.
at all in any way.
Right.
It means that I took it this far, and now it's my choice to take it further or not.
Right.
Failure is this just horrible, icky mind thing.
Yes.
And it's all in our brain. And if you think of it differently, as instead of people thinking that I'm a failure, they're going to think of how brave I am.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Because anybody that sees someone that's doing and taking action,
Right.
they're seeing bravery.
Right.
And if they fail, think about what do you think about somebody when they fail? Do you think they're a loser?
No. No, not at
No.
all.
You want to actually help them and be supportive
Absolutely.
of them.
Absolutely.
So why do we not think that people are going to do that for us?
Right.
So you know what failure is? I just came up with a line in my book. It's another excuse.
Yes.
Fear of failure is another excuse as to why we're not going to do anything. It's not real. It's not real.
Yeah. And I think when you show up like that, or women show up like that in general, it gives others around you permission. Because when you were using the example of being honest with a friend and saying, no, I can't go, or no, I don't want to go,
Yeah.
having that perceived on the other end could be a little bitey to that person. It's like all of a sudden, well, why don't you want to go with me? What you make, the person makes it about them.
Absolutely.
And that's very egocentric driven.
It is.
It's not about you, it's about me.
But if you
I'm
preface
tired
it
today
with,
and I don't want to go.
yes, yes. Or saying I'm going to go and then having to lie or come up with an excuse or something and not
Yeah.
make it. But you could say, you know what, I'd rather give you honesty right now.
Right.
Who's gonna look down on that? You know, I really want to be honest with you, and I appreciate the offer.
Right.
You don't have to look at someone and go, "No way, I'm not going." There's no way I'd go to that fundraiser.
You're so dumb. I'm not
Right?
doing that.
No. But if you say
Respectable honesty.
yeah. You know, thank you so much for asking me. I already know that I'm going to be tired. I already know it's not something that piques my interest.
Right.
Please ask me the next time.
Right.
Who could feel bad about that?
Right, right.
And it gets easier. All of you out there that are saying, yes, I'll try, the minute you start saying no, so in the book I have an exercise that says you are required to say no to somebody 3 times today.
Oh,
So
I love
yeah,
it.
you know what, honey? No, I'm not going to try and go to the grocery store and pick up your medication. I'm just not going to do it. Pick something and say no, and it is exciting. You do get that, like, oh my gosh, feeling in your stomach.
Yeah.
But the more you do it, trust me, the easier it gets. I'm a champion person that says, you know what, yeah, nope, not gonna happen. And it becomes really fun, actually.
Because it's really just a word. It's really just a word. It's a decision word. That is
word,
it.
It's a word, but it is a little more than a word because it affects your life and
Yeah,
does increase
yeah.
anxiety, and it drains you and it fills your mind up where your mind can be freer now. Well, I guess
Right.
what? I was able to say I'm not going to go tonight, and now I can just freely, guilt-free, do anything I want to do.
Right.
So I think
Right.
it's more than a word. Saying no is really important, and it's really empowering.
Right.
And we say, I'll try, instead of that, and it causes all kinds of drama.
That is true.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of women, especially midlife women, are completely overwhelmed because we're saying we'll try to do a shit ton of stuff. I mean, our list is
Yes.
long.
Yeah, yeah.
Long and mighty. Sorry about the truck, you guys. Our list is long, and I feel like every single person I run into on a professional level, even personal level, they're just, their eyes are crossed.
Oh my gosh, there's a visual. You know, you got the phone in the crook of your neck. You're unloading groceries. Okay, yes, I'll try and get back to you in a little while.
Yes.
Like, why do we have to do it all? If there's one takeaway from this morning, it's say no. Stop trying. Stop offering to try to do everything, and say no. And you're going to feel empowerment. And believe me, that will bleed into other areas of your life. It's so great.
Yeah. You're creating this army of all these powerful women that are like, you know what? I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to do that today.
Not today, honey, but you have fun.
I love it. So what was like the epiphany? What led you to doing this?
It's so interesting. I feel like I was really born this way.
Yeah.
As far back as I can remember, there was a contest in like 3rd grade where you could win this big book. The prize being a book. Like, why do I want that so bad? Okay. But I said, I am not going to try and win that book. I was going to win that book. And I did everything. And I won. I won the book. I wish I still had it.
I love it.
The contest was you had to get as many words as you could out of the word environment.
Okay.
I think it was teaching kids the power of environment, and the book was about our planet. And so, I mean, I wasn't out playing with my friends. I was asking my sisters. I was asking my mom, my dad, their friends, help me with this word,
Yeah.
you know. And I won that book. I had the mindset, I'm not going to try. I was in the music business for 20 plus years, selling music.
Yeah.
Something that's intangible.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't touch it, smell it, feel it. And how do you become the vice president of a company?
Right.
How do you make results happen?
Right.
You can't try.
Right. You just need to do it.
You have to do it.
Right.
And I had to make decisions every day. What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? You can't half-heart. That's what trying is. It's a half-hearted attempt or an effort. In the dictionary, it says trying is an attempt or an effort to do something.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
It's a half-hearted attempt filled with excuses and blame and no accountability.
Right.
I don't have room for that in my life.
Right.
I just don't have the time. So I feel like I've been born doing this, and I've had my whole life up until now, and I hear it. It's just magnified when somebody says, I'll try. I can hear a stranger say it, and I want to just grab them and say, don't try, do that thing, you know? It's just, I'm compelled. It's why I'm here. That's why I do it. And I've always done it.
I love that.
Yeah. There is an area, I'm going to give a disclaimer,
Yes.
where I try. Still.
Okay.
And
That's good though, because you're human.
I'm human, okay? There's more than one, but I have a temper. I am very reactionary.
Okay.
And as far back as I can remember, my dad saying, you know, Carla, count to 10, okay? And it would be, you need to count to 20, because I'm so, here's my excuses, I'm so passionate, okay, about things.
Right.
I have a hard time reacting and controlling my temper. I'm on a short fuse. Still to this day. I'm getting better. As I get older, I kind of am a little bit, you know, it's kind of easier to choose to be calmer. But for whatever reason, I'm not doing what I need to do. I'm holding on to it. I'm like holding on by a thread to all my excuses. You know, oh, I'm a New Yorker, excuse. Oh, I'm just a passionate person, excuse. Whatever it is, I'm a reactionary. I have kind of a temper. So, so I still try in some areas. But why I do this is because my motivation is to change lives. I speak at colleges. I hear it back from them saying, oh my gosh, I'm not trying to do this anymore, I'm doing it. I love you telling me that you were inspired in that moment and that you are.
It was like a light switch.
Yeah.
It was a light switch.
And you have to practice. You have to keep doing it. I have these little stickers that people put on water bottles, they put on their laptops. It's a muscle in your brain that you have to practice every day. So notice when somebody says they'll try on your behalf. You can actually turn that try into a do. You can ask them, well, will you get in touch with so-and-so for me, or won't you? And the minute they say, okay, I will do it, you're closer to having it done. Okay, it doesn't guarantee it, but you're changing their words. So you're changing their mindset. Anything that someone's going to try to do on your behalf, I'll try and get you the product on time, okay? For you and your business. Well, will you be able to get that in the mail today or not? You are changing the narrative. And that's literally, it's that one tiny word that if you get rid of this guy, you're powerful.
That's funny you say that, because my husband and I entered into like an investment thing, and the guy has been a little bit just non-responsible, flaky, or whatever. So I decided to email him yesterday, as a matter of fact, and he responded back that, you know, the thing that we needed was going to have the return in 2 to 3 months. And he said, I will try to have it in 2 to 3 months, this outcome. And I said, well, that's not going to be good enough for me. I need a date. So respectively, what date can you give me where I can reach back out and we can meet this again? And he was completely, like, I could feel his energy through the email that completely put off.
It throws him.
It threw him a little bit. And
I'll just throw a try at this, and guess
exactly.
what?
Exactly. And I thought, I'm not taking that bait. I'm not taking that bait, man. And it was a very professional, okay conversation that ended up resulting in a date on his behalf without me being quote unquote bitchy or angry at the situation. I was just like, well, no, actually that's not going to work for me. I need X, Y, and Z. And it was great.
That's amazing.
And it was perfect. And it was crazy because I actually thought about you, because I am a person who, I'll make everybody happy. We'll just do it all for everybody. And then sacrificing myself last, as many women do. We sacrifice ourselves. So I'm not going to be the sacrificial lamb. No more.
No more.
No more.
And it doesn't have to be mean.
No.
It's actually, think about it as you are helping that guy be a better business person.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Absolutely.
if you're, what's wrong with asking for what you need? You
Yeah.
know, um,
And could you imagine, I mean, not to get into men and women, but could you imagine a man saying, okay, well, okay, that's all right. I'll try to like answer my emails. No,
no,
no.
in business meetings, okay, the head of the company isn't going to say, okay, everybody, let's try and make this happen.
No.
You don't become the president of the company.
You do or die.
It's we're doing this and we're going to do this by this date. Trying is
Yes.
unacceptable.
Yes.
There's a lot of areas in our life. You know, you wouldn't go to a bank that says, I'm going to try and manage your money. I'll try and have it available for you when
I
you want to
loved that
withdraw
example.
it. Okay.
That was
We
on her
don't-
Instagram the other day, and I was like, that is so true. Something
so
so
true.
everyday.
Yeah, we don't allow for trying in many areas of our life. You don't send your kids to a school that says, you know,
Try to teach them.
we'll try to teach them, and we'll actually try to make sure they stay here today.
Right.
Okay. No, you want to
Right.
know that they're going to be cared for and looked after. Um, my kids are amazing. They've grown up with me. They self-correct, both of them, and they say, you know, okay, mom, I'll try to whatever, and they'll say, okay, know what, you know, I'm not going to try. I'm doing it. That self-correcting is incredible. I'm working on my husband, and he actually is doing it. He said he was at work and he was typing an email, and he took the try out and he wrote, you know, rewrote it.
Yes.
And there's only good that comes out of this. It is so fun. I would encourage all of you to have fun with this. Start. You could do a try jar at home, and anytime someone says try, they have to put a nickel into the try jar. And at the end of the week, whoever says it the least gets to take that money home.
I love that.
You know, make little stickers and notes for yourself. Remind yourself. It is a fun thing to do, and then you'll notice how incredible and quickly your life will change.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah. Okay, so the two examples that you've given so far, just to repeat them for everybody at home to start to do, not try to do, start to do in their life, is a try jar. Anytime you say it, make it a game. Make it a game with your family, with your spouse, your partner, your kids, your friends, whatever. You could even go out to dinner with girlfriends, and whoever has the most in the pot buys dinner that night.
Oh my God, I love that. I'm going to do that.
That's a good one, right? That's a good one.
I love that.
That's a good one. So the try jar, but also
You can invite me to your dinner.
wouldn't that be? That's
and
gonna
I'll
be great.
I'll be the person.
The referee. Snag. I love it. And then, making yourself say no at least 3 times a day for something that you just really don't want.
Yeah, or once a day. You know,
Once a day.
say
Even
no.
once a day, you guys. That's a good place to start.
Right.
Are there any other tips and tricks that they can take home?
Yes. Notice when other people say try to you. Just notice. Just notice it. You don't have to call them out. Ask your family to point it out to you and your friends. Have them be your listeners, your mirror, and say, oh, you said try. So, you know, just start paying attention to the word. Be hyper aware of try. And follow me on Instagram.
Yes.
Because basically every day I'm putting out, you know, like a powerful reminder, and I interview people. I go up to people on the street and ask them, what are your thoughts on trying? Why do you try? Would it be better if you didn't try? And it's really fun. So follow me and be aware of the language that you're using, and keep following this one because she's a doer, and it's fun to watch your journey.
Working. Thank you. So my last question is, in our community, we talk about our chapter U and recreating ourselves in midlife and really stepping into our light and who we are. So what has been a moment in your life that has been your chapter U moment where you've decided just to take hold and do it for you?
At this stage in my life, I think it's deciding that I'm going to write this book. And I had to be really clear on my motivation. And, you know, I have a great life, and my kids are launched. And now is the time when I could be traveling and just having so much fun. I've worked, I've had a career, So my chapter you moment is deciding that I'm doing this. And I was terrified, and I'm terrified every day. I'm
Right.
so terrified of failure, of success, of the work I have to do. But it's bringing me so much excitement and joy. So it's a big thing. And so I made that decision that I'm doing this. So
I love
it's
it.
my moment.
When you're on the Drew Barrymore show or Oprah, wherever, we're gonna go.
Okay, you can come with me.
Totally. I'll be like, I'm the cheerleader. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. I pinned Carla's social accounts there. Go and watch her. I love her park interviews when she tells people, they're like, oh my gosh. And I think a lot of people have realizations, which has been super cool. So thank you so much. And thank you just for being an inspiration and really changing the trajectory of the way my mindset was going. And I consider myself to be a very positive mindset person. And I was on that hamster wheel that I did not even realize. And that has helped me already just in the short time that I met you to now. It's only been 2 months or something.
I am so honored because you are so powerful and strong and such a doer and so successful. The fact that this is affecting you in this way
It's
it
beautiful.
makes me feel so good. So
It's
thank
beautiful.
you.
So thank you. Thank you. Thanks for joining, you guys, and thank you for sharing. I will send out the replay if you are on the newsletter, also with all of Carla's links, and have a fantastic, beautiful day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.